Hey, from one girlfriend to another, welcome to the Girlfriend's Girlfriend podcast preview. Okay, this is just going to be a little snippet about, what the show is going to be about. And I'm going to admit to you right now, I'm not good with introductions. You know that moment when someone introduces you and you freeze thinking, how am I supposed to sum myself up? Well, that's me right now. But instead of trying to be perfect, I'm just going to be me and we'll roll with it. I'm Roshonda and it's so nice to meet you, girlfriend. Thanks for stopping by to see what this podcast is all about. I won't promise to make you a millionaire, but maybe when you listen, you'll feel like one. So who am I? Well, as you figured out per the millionaire sentiment, I'm definitely not Warren Buffett, but I am someone who loves encouraging others. I'm not a licensed counselor nor therapist, but a personal development coach who helps people identify and achieve their goals through guidance, support, and practical strategies. We'll focus on areas like self-awareness, building confidence. I'll share tips to help you set meaningful goals and overcome challenges. Ultimately, I'm the girlfriend that's here to empower you to unlock your potential and live a more fulfilling, purpose-driven life. At the heart of it all, I'm just someone who loves talking to people, helping them see things from a new perspective, and finding real solutions to whatever life throws their way. But here's the thing, because you got to know this. Because I have to be very transparent right now. I'm not perfect. Whew, that felt good to say. Okay, I'm not perfect. And I don't have all the answers. But I do serve the one that does, and that's God. So wait a minute, girlfriend, before you get to thinking, because I know how people feel when they mention God. No, this won't be a preaching podcast. But I've been through a lot, and I've learned a lot. And thanks to my many mistakes, girl, I made some mistakes. Okay, can you feel me? Can I get an amen? Thanks to my many mistakes, hurts, habits, and hang-ups, I can share a little more, about life and how God's hand was in it, even through all the messy things. If there's one thing I know, it's that life doesn't always make sense, and we don't have to go through it alone. So that's my goal for the show, to be that girlfriend who's ready to listen and offer some sound advice, whether it's navigating a tough situation or just finding a way to laugh through the chaos. And trust me, we need a little bit of both of those, right? That's what this podcast is all about. Real conversations where we talk about relationships, life's ups and downs, and how to handle it all with a little more grace and a lot more laughter. Speaking of which, I love to laugh. I love a good laugh. So don't be surprised if I throw in a joke or two along the way. You'll also hear me talk about some of my favorite things like cooking shows. There's this one called Out Chefed, okay? Love it. I think you should go and check it out. And my fixation with a few TV shows such as Abbott Elementary, Only Murders in the Building, just to name a few. And all of those are on Hulu or Disney Plus. I'm also a big fan of movies. 90s movies all the way up. Listen, do you miss the 90s? Do you miss the, I know this is random, but look, do you miss the 90s? If I had one era that I could either live in again or do over, it would be 1990 to 1999. That era was epic, from the hairstyles to the clothes, the simplicity of things. And just to be able to go back to when gas was 89 cents a gallon. You remember that? When gas was 89 cents a gallon. Now, I'm from Arkansas, so wherever part of the world you were in, okay, during those 90s. But I'm sure in Arkansas, I remember when gas was 89 cents a gallon. And back then it was like, man, you thought gas was high, but compared to these prices now, had it good, okay? Food prices were sure low. Okay, nobody's back then was paying $1,000 a week for food. I mean, I don't know about you, I wasn't. Okay, so food prices were sure low, but what about you? Any era you like to come back and why? So I love to hear your thoughts on that. It was the 90s for me. Listen, this isn't meant to be one of those podcasts where we're stiff or formal. I want you to imagine it like we're hanging out in your living room, talking about everything from self-love to dealing with the relationships in our lives and randomness, such as living back in the 90s. Those kinds of talks where you let your hair down, grab a drink, girl, wine, soda, or a good old glass of water with lemon, and just be. We'll dive into some fun and thoughtful topics too. I've got a recurring segment inspired by the old wedding adage, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, where I'll talk about what's new and what we can learn from the past and how it all relates to our lives. And don't worry, this show isn't just about me talking. Per the question I asked a few minutes ago about telling me what era you like to relive, I want you to join in. This is an interactive show, so you can text or email the show with your questions, and I might just answer them on the air. Plus, if you become a subscriber, you'll get a shout out in one of the episodes. So how cool is that? So at the end of the day, I'm excited to get to know you and for you to get to know me. Consider this podcast your monthly getaway with your best girlfriends, where nothing is off the table and there's always room for growth. So if you enjoy conversations like this, stay tuned. The first full episode of the Girlfriend's Girlfriend podcast will premiere the last Wednesday in October, which will be October 30th. So mark your calendars and make sure you subscribe now. The Girlfriend's Girlfriend podcast is available wherever your favorite music and podcast stations reside. So welcome to the community, girlfriend, and get comfy because we've got a lot to talk about, okay? We got a lot of stuff to cover. So until next time, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.
Every girl needs